So we are going to talk about the outcome of laminoforaminectomy in case of unilateral cervical radiculopathy. Cervical radiculopathy is the clinical description of pain and neurological symptoms that irritate the cervical nerve root. The causes include herniated disc, stenosis, degenerative disc disease. There are different approaches that include anterior and posterior as well. So benefits of anterior versus posterior: good visualization of pathological changes in case of anterior, stabilization of motion segment, direct and indirect decompression of enlargement of neural foramina. Muscle sparing approach, post-op absorption of residual osteophyte, also relieves the central stenosis, useful in axial neck pain, restoring the lordosis. No neuronal retraction. While benefits of posterior approaches are no need for fusion, no complications of segment fusion, direct decompression of neuronal tissue, post-operative immobilization unnecessary, less risk of visceral damage, useful in smoker, athletes, and singers, useful for C7T1 in obese patient with short neck, useful for recurrence after ACDF. So disadvantages, indications for both. For anterior instability, hard disk, coexisting central canal stenosis, bilateral disease, more than 3-level disease, axial neck pain, and kyphosis. For posterior, the indications: when there is no instability, the disc is lateral and soft, younger patient, preferably unilateral, and it can be done in single level or in multiple level cases. So usually posterior cervical foraminectomy, the whole disc is not removed, just the fragment pressing the nerve root is removed. Fusion is not performed. Typically do not require a neck collar after the surgery. Kindly इसको देखिए. Okay. The aim of our study was to report the outcome of laminoforaminectomy in unilateral cervical radiculopathy. It was a 3-year prospective study which included the unilateral cervical radiculopathy at single level. We excluded the bilateral radiculopathy patients with myelopathy, spinal instability, and kyphosis with follow-up of 6 months. So these are the post-operative images showing neuronal decompression with posterior foraminectomy of C6 radiculopathy. This one is a post-op X-ray showing right-sided C6 foraminal decompression. So outcome was measured according to the ODOM's outcome classification in early post-operative and 6-month post-operatively. All preoperative symptoms relieved. It showed the excellent result. When minimal persistence of preoperative symptoms were present, the result was good. And in fair cases, definite relief of some preoperative symptom, but other symptoms unchanged or slightly improved. When the symptoms and signs unchanged or exacerbated, the results were poor. So analysis was done. There was 10 male and 7 female patients. The mean age was about 45, and the duration of symptom was 1 to 7 months. By clinical examination, neck pain was mild in 2 patients, moderate in 3 patients, and severe in 12 patients. while brachyalgia was severe in 5 patients and worst in 12 patients with no sign of myelopathy. So results showed 5 patients of C5 radiculopathy, 8 patients with 6 radiculopathy, 2 patients with 7 and 8. Final outcome at 6 months, excellent in 52% cases, 40% showed good outcome, fair in 5%, and 2% poor, 2.5%. So overall outcome was 93% satisfactory and 7% unsatisfactory. We found some complications like superficial wound infection, temporary motor weakness, permanent paresthesia, and motor weakness as well in 5 patients. Although the anterior approach for the treatment of cervical disc prolapse and spondylitic cervical canal stenosis is more commonly performed and studied, cervical foraminectomy for cervical radiculopathy is an effective option in well-selected patients with posterolateral foraminal stenosis in either soft disc or osteophyte for nerve decompression. Thank you.